Welcome back to Serious Meme Analysis. It's been a while, but it's now time to tear through random shite I found on the internet again. When making this videogram, the internet is/was a blaze of controversy regarding the NFL, also known as the Nuclear Football Likers. The president of this place called the United States of America, a Mr. Donald Trump, called for NFL doers to be fired if they protest during the really boring non-La Marseillaise anthem. In response, the pre-existing protest expanded and people lost their shit. There's loads of these, and they all follow a similar theme, so let's start with this one. Skyrider 4438, having ridden from the ashes of Skyrider 4437, posts a handy image explaining that without the NFL, there will always be America, but without America, there will be no NFL. This is factually incorrect. As well as the Gaelic football tournament played every spring in Ireland, there's at least 6 countries whose highest level of domestic association football competition is called the National Football League, abbreviated to NFL. Skyrider 4438 does make some interesting points though. The NFL may have forgotten it. People often forget things which don't hold to be true. They've also got some alternative protest strategies. You could boycott the NFL sponsors, you could boycott the NFL itself. Both valid democratic options. Take a stand, not a knee. If you feel so inclined, why not? Then they suggest to stand for the flag but take a knee for the fallen, which slightly contradicts their insistence on not taking a knee. And honestly, I must have missed the part of American football pre-game proceedings in which they have a short funeral ceremony. Next we move on to Grant J. Kidney. You know Grant is a true American patriot because there's a little flag next to his name. Grant writes an open letter to the NFL, informing them that we, though assuming a relatively current Twitter profile picture, Grant isn't 250 years old, so probably didn't himself fight, fought a revolutionary war that we'd never be forced to kneel again. And to save everyone else time, he signed it the American people, rather than his own name, which is nice, isn't it? What Grant appears to have missed is this isn't some sort of mandated kneeling session. Players have chosen to kneel after the instigator of the movement, Colin Kaepernick, was told sitting came across as disrespectful. Nobody has to kneel. It's being used to visually differentiate from the usual procedures so as to make a statement. If anything, the Revolutionary War was fought to give people this choice, and forcing them to stand seems a little dictatorial. Here we have everyone's second favourite conservative cartoonist, Branco. He depicts the knee of a player crushing a man's head, with the knee being politics, and the man being an NFL fan in a red hat. It's a pretty clumsy metaphor, as what the players are protesting is police brutality, so using an example of what the police might do to someone seems a bit off. The whole point of a protest is to inconvenience people, but it's not exactly crushing anyone. God forbid anyone sees 2 minutes of mild protest before 3 hours of sports entertainment. If NFL fans feel so horribly put out by this, they could lobby their political representatives to aid in the cause Kaepernick is championing. That would probably cause these protests to stop. Or they could just tune in after the anthems in time for the kickoff. That way they don't miss anything. Now we get into the slightly more absurd, seriously missing the point takes. Here a meme asking to point out which dead soldier was black to remove the supposed offensive flag. First of all, not a single person in this entire movement has referred to the flag itself as offensive. Just because the moment they have every week when they're on TV but not playing a game coincides with some form of flag ceremony doesn't mean there are issues with the flag. Like people have been saying all week, Gandhi wasn't protesting the food, Rosa Parks wasn't protesting the concept of public transport. Another important point, none of the players are claiming to be oppressed. They're standing up for an underrepresented community, using their platform for good in the world. It's not about them, it's not about the flag, it's about injustice. On a similar theme, this image compares the salary Colin Kaepernick was receiving before he was blackballed out of the sport to that of frontline infantry. Again, I must state, Colin Kaepernick has never claimed to be oppressed. He's represented people that look up to him, doing the whole role model thing that athletes are always encouraged to do. Likewise, he isn't protesting the anthem, he's protesting during the anthem. Very significant difference. Thirdly, there probably is something wrong with this picture, but that is a critique of government priorities and capitalism. The government sets military salaries. They believe the amount offered is enough to entice someone to sacrifice their life for. Maybe, if like the NFL, they could use soldiers as marketing tools for giant corporations, they could pay them more. The War on Terror? Brought to you by Gatorade, because the desert of Iraq makes you thirsty. Maybe if instead of West Point Academy, it was the Ford Motor Company Military Centre of Excellence, soldiers could be making 3-figure salaries. Anyway, these figures perhaps just suggest that American culture values throwing a ball over some men to another man more so than it does dying in war zones. Lastly, I want to come back to this slide from the start. I would rather take a knee with Colin Kaepernick than stand with Donald Trump. This is a problem. Because of righteous outrage and the clown in chief, an important cause has been co-opted into anti-Trump hysteria. The cause of racial inequality and police brutality, the practice of police shooting unarmed black men and rarely suffering any consequences for doing so. This stuff predates Trump, and getting Trump to shut up or even go away won't fix it. Don't let him cloud the issue. Sorry if it got all a bit serious at the end there. Feel free to like, subscribe, buy any products I endorse, send flowers, whatever it is people ask you to do at the end of YouTube videos. Bye bye.